Today on the Shiddy channel, we'll be over here in the Shiddy shop, and we are going to reinstall a headliner in this 1998 Honda Civic sedan. Now, I've already taken the headliner out and cleaned it off, put the new headliner on. All we have to do now is take all the plastics back off, pull the dome light out, pull my link mirror out, and then slide it back in and put her back together. Now, one of the first things we're going to do today, anytime you do anything electrical, unplug anything that's electrical, the first thing you always want to do is unplug the battery. That just ensures that nothing shorts out or gets damaged. So always play it safe. Now, when unhooking the battery, we're just going to unhook the negative terminal. I don't know if anybody can notice that little nail there. It's no big deal, just sometimes, you know, your post strap there gets a little worn out. And a quick, easy, simple, very cheap fix. Just grab a nail or a screw or whatever you can find and jam her on in there. Really makes it a little extra tight. This does go a lot faster if you use a drill or electric impact or anything like that, but slow and steady wins the race. Hits. Ta-da. All right, now that we've got the battery unhooked, it's safe to take out this little light here. Just pull this little plastic cover off, and then about right here in the center, there's a little Phillips head screw. And gently now, take the screw out. And you don't want to lose it, so try best, to just catch it if it falls. If not, you know what? You'll find it when you vacuum, right? And just pull this guy out. And you'll want to just undo the little clips here. And, there's one big one right here, and then a smaller one up here, so you can't get them backwards. It's the same with the clips. One's kind of bigger than the other. Just the easiest way to remember that. So now that we've got this undone, we can move on to our mirror, and then we can start pulling our plastics down, and then getting close to that fun part of wiggling that headliner back in. Now remember, folks, anytime you're working out in a shop that doesn't have central air or heat, and when you're working with, good old-fashioned wood stove, always try to remember to periodically check that fire so it don't go out on you. Look at that heat. Now, to get off a wink mirror, you just need to take that screw there out, and that screw there out, and then that will drop the whole thing. Now, as most things, it is a little easier if you got somebody who can give you a hand, who can hold one side up while you're taking off the other. But it won't hurt it if you just let it lean up against something there. You got to do what you got to do. Let's rinse and repeat. Taking the screw off on the other side. Look at that. Anytime I'm working inside of my car, I always like to try to take any of my screws or any hardware that's kind of small and easy to lose and just put them right down in the little cubby by the e-brake. That way you don't lose them, and if you do, well, it's kind of easier to find them in the Bermuda Triangle of the cars. Now we're on one of the last steps here. We're just gonna go along all the way around and try to pop these plastics down enough to where you can slide the headliner in one side and then tuck it in the other. You still need to loosen all your plastics all the way around. And don't be afraid. You just kind of gotta give it the same thing on the other side. Where'd it go? Yeah, you do gotta watch that sometimes. The little metal clips that go in the little inserts in your plastic, you know, when you're just pulling them out by hand real hard like that, will shoot out like a rocket. Then you gotta find them later and put them back in so it can securely go back into place. But for now, we'll just toss that over there. Yeah. Yeah. There's another one of them clips about to shoot out. See if we can be gentle. Well, it didn't shoot out, but the little clippy stayed on. The metal part, not the plastic part. That's okay. Everything should fall back into place on the reinstall. Now there's a couple different ways that people put headliners in and take them out. And some people will try to pull them out the back seat by flippity flopping them around every which way. But the way I prefer is to come out the trunk and then going in the trunk. And then there's a couple little levers that you can pull that'll flip the seats down. Just pull and push. Pull and push. And then boom. Now you've got a little truck. No, I'm kidding. It's still a car. You see, now you've got a big opening that's just big enough to where you can scooch that freshly done headliner in there. One thing to keep in mind is anytime you're putting in something new, fancy, that can get dirty really easily, put on a pair of gloves. Because you see, when me and my dad put the headliner on, I didn't wear gloves. So it got a little bit dirty. So we're gonna prevent getting it any more dirty with just a cheap old pair of gloves. See, they're cheap. Try to put them on, they rip, and they're plenty big enough. So once you get your gloves on, you go get your headliner and start the fun part. All right, you grab your fancy, nice new headliner, and if you just check it out, see, it's not perfect, it's not horrible. It's always better than what it was, though. Now, like as I was saying before, for me, it's easier just to come through the trunk part. Then always remember, your headliner's facing down and in the correct orientation. So once you slide it in the first time, you don't have to pull it back out and put it back in multiple times. Because the more you do this, the greater the potential of damaging the headliner shell. Because you do have to slightly bend it to put it in this way. So here we go. All right. Slight taco. Now, like with a lot of things you do when you work on a car, it's easier when there's two people. But you can always make do by yourself when you gotta do what you gotta do. Because things aren't that hard. You just gotta do them. That feels good, all right? It's been a long time since there's been something this nice up here. Easiest way to get this thing to stay up is to start with your light here. And if you remember, like I said, you've got a big one and you've got a little one. So it's very hard to mess up those orientations. Because only the big one goes on the big one, and the littlin goes on the littlin. And you just line it up because it's got these little clicky tabs. Did you hear it click? Well, I didn't hear it click. I thought I did. You know, we should probably find our screw first. Sometimes you gotta get some help.
Yeah, from your kid.
Yeah. Now, like I was saying, we want to push her up, line her up with our light first.
Whoop, there we go.
And it kind of help give us a spot. Oh, I'm going.
It's covering this part.
Can you hold it up in the middle right here? There we go. Did y'all hear that click that time? Now keep the pressure up there.
It's not gonna fall.
Doesn't drop the screw again, man. These screws so tiny. Little screws when you got big hands make things really hard sometimes. But when things get hard and difficult, we don't stop. We don't quit.
Yeah.
We just keep going.
Yeah, because we're big girls, big kids.
I'm not a girl.
Big kids.
All right, look at that. Now that we've got the light back on, we can just go ahead and throw our little clip on there.
It don't work.
Well, the battery's unhooked. Because anytime you unhook anything electrical in the car, you want to unhook your battery so you don't short nothing out. All right, now we're just going to start putting our plastics back together. That way we can call this project done. Now with this piece here, you might need to use a little screwdriver to make it come back around to the other side. A little persuasion for the equation, you know. Once you think you got her lined up. Just give her a little love tap. Like a glove, they say. And unlike this one, there's a little hole there. You want to make sure your little antenna part's kind of in that hole. Now, unfortunately, that side, it came off, so I need to get some adhesive to get her put back on there. But she still defrosts. It still works as it should, so that shouldn't be a problem. I've always thought it was easier to work yourself from the back to the front. Kind of go opposite how you started, you know. Never hurts to just go backwards. A little backtracking. Not a whole lot of room in these things for big guys, huh? Yeah. Same thing. Just make sure she's lined up. Send her home. And again, make sure your little wire goes through the little hole in there. A little persuasion. Now that the two side pillars up to the middle are put in, but shoot, I should have put that in first, but it's okay, it'll still slide up in there, and you just kind of line it up where she's supposed to go and give her that persuasion. I bet we lost the clip there, but it still looks good. Now let's move to the front, see what kind of damage we can do up there. All right. So we'll just feed her down here into the dash. Whoa. Well, first let's pull off the retainer clips. See if we can get those to go back where they're supposed to go. All right. Now we're gonna put in our last interior piece here. Taking what we learned on the other side. Whoopsie. So there we go. Nice. Well, hit. A little persuasion for the equation. Look at there. Oh. Fix that one too. There we go. Now we're in. Time to put our mirror back in and call this project done. Let's make it a little bit easier to find your holes for your screws if you didn't punch them out prior. Just get it up close where you think it is. Take a mental note. Then take you a little pick and gently poke around till you feel it give where the hole is for the bolt. See, sometimes you need some help holding it up. But once you take your pick and you find your your holes, then you just start your screw on each side and run them on up. All right. Once you get all your panels back in, your dome light back in, and your beautiful new headliner in, don't forget to hook your battery back up or you won't be going nowhere. Now see, if you put your terminal on and just take your little screw or your nail or whatever it was and just pop it there. Well, just get you a little persuasion. Any kind of hammer, ratchet, whatever you got to work. Just give it some love taps. Just tap her on down in there. That's good. Then we'll just tighten her back up. And we're good to go. Now it's time for a little Josh A's tech tip of the day. Anytime you're under the hood for any reason, whether it's unhooking a battery, changing a light bulb, or anything like that, it's always best to go ahead and just check your fluids. Check everything out. Make sure everything looks good while you're there, while it's in your teeth. Check it out. Put your eyeballs on it. So one of the things I always like to check is the oil. Right there. Usually just grab your rag or something, wipe the oil off. Pull her down in there. Focus. Then you can see it's good. Got plenty of dinosaurs in there. Power steering. Looks good. And we got plenty of brake fluid in there. Everything's looking pretty good. You can always check for leaks at this time. Anything out of the ordinary. Everything's looking pretty dry and pretty good. So once you confirmed everything's good, you're done with your project. Alright, that does it for today's video on this 98 sedan. I would like to thank everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Do whatever you need to do to help us get this channel up and out there. We're a new channel and we're going to try to be doing anything we can think of, from working on cars to music stuff, 3D printing stuff, weather, news, anything we can think of, we are going to try to do to bring you premium content. Do you want to say something? And yes, it may be called the Shiddy channel, but it's spelled with 2 D's. It's non-profanic. And it's just because we're crazy. We do things by the seat of our britches. You know, most of us, we're just YouTube certified. You know? And you might see a couple different faces on this channel. Me, myself, which is I'm Josh Wright. And my friend Scott, Travis, Matt. You never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to see. So, stay tuned, and thanks for watching again.